You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Feta Sports Podcast. Fade us. Mike the Mouth Matusow is a four-time World Series of Poker winner. Mikey knows sports, studies sports, and watches more games than all of us combined. Mikey, what is your 30-second rant?
Well, 5-1 on the season, so don't be fading me, number one. Number two, the rant is all about what is going on with NFL kickers. What I witnessed last week was insane. 3 block kicks in the last 2 minutes of the game. That's the first time since 1990. 4 block kicks in the fourth quarter. That's the first time since 1978. And if you watch the Rams-Eagle game, the Eagles didn't block the kicks. He kicked the ball right into the Eagle guy who just had his hand up. Those kicks were on the kicker, and I just watched a Ram team dominate the Eagles and lose. I watched the Green Bay Packers, big favorites, go down, get the kick blocked, and then somehow Cleveland, who had 0 points with 4 minutes to go in the game, won the game in regulation on block kicks. I've never seen anything like it. The most wildest weekend I've ever seen with kickers. Truly amazing.
I got to say this, Mike. I had a $50,000 cash, my own money, on the Packers game. I was so bummed out. All right, but David Woodley started Speed Survivor. Check out speedsurvivor.com. Our guy Woodley has great knowledge and sharp takes. Woodley, what is your rant?
Well, I was hoping to be able to rant about Matt Rule and just what he's done to the Nebraska football program, but it had been a quiet week in the Kelsey universe. But then everything explodes like it always does the last 48 hours. We got the trifecta of these scumbags, narcissistic, just losers, man. First, what does Kelsey do Sunday night against the Giants? Oh, he lays in our fucking egg, does nothing. And then he assaults his coach on the sideline. Okay. And crazy. A lot of big news coming out about a big benching that happened after the game. Kelsey needs to be benched. The guy is a distraction. Nobody likes him on the team. They need to bench him. They need to trade him. I would rather have Russell Wilson as my quarterback right now than Travis Kelsey as my starting tight end. It's that bad. Then Jason Kelsey, saw Travis on the news. Jason actually looked like an adult for once on the pregame show. He actually had a suit with a proper shirt and tie, not some, PBR shirt or garage beer shirt. But then, he has to be the center of attention. He goes and goes into the band and plays saxophone. And, hey, look at me. I'm the big fat drunk guy from Philly. And then to top it off, we got Taylor Swift. This is breaking news on Taylor Swift yesterday. Most human beings, when they're asked to get subpoenaed or appear in court, they just go to court, right? Not Taylor Swift. And I'm not going to get into this court case, but you should just do it when you get subpoenaed, right? We've probably all been subpoenaed. We've all answered it right. Poor Taylor Swift. She's ducking this subpoena so much. They have this ex-retired cop have to go serve her. He hops Jason Kelsey's fence to go serve her. And what do? They arrest him on the spot. A hero to America getting arrested. Classic Taylor Swift. Probably hops in her private jet to duck it again. Take the subpoena, Taylor.
What's it about?
Wait.
I don't want to talk about the case. I don't want to talk about the case.
For the people at home, this is Woodley every single week. He and I think some people are saying, hey, does Woodley really hate the Kelseys? He does. If you watched our podcast last year, we had 24 episodes. He ranted about the Kelseys, 20 of those episodes, and all the commercials there. I will say this, about 20 or 30% of the world was kind of a little bit sick of the Kelseys, getting a little too much attention, and Taylor Swift. I'm not one of them. But I do understand Woodley, and I just want the people out there to know that you are legitimate. Cantu, it's about time for your rant. Let me give you a proper introduction. Brandon Cantu is a 2-time World Series of Poker winner, has some well-thought-out takes. Cantu sometimes bets his entire net worth on one game, and oh boy, is that the truth. Cantu, what is your rant?
Well, before I get into my rant, Phil, I have to brag a little bit because Mike said to me, he was bragging, he goes, I'm up 4 units this week, Cantu. How are you doing in football? I had an epic week. I won 24 units this weekend in the NFL.
24 units.
Brandon a hand. 24 units. Danny,
there's only 16 games. You won 24 units.
Post my bets from Saturday and Sunday right there. If you could look down this, that equals 24 units.
We can't post your bets. It's so long that it won't fit on the screen.
Danny's going to scroll. There was a lot. But anyways, getting to my rant, it's about Russell Wilson. The guy, once again, doesn't get a fair shot. He's coming off a career week against the Cowboys.
My God, really?
Week.
No.
It's a career week. He's flying.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball at the goalpost. Twice.
It's not his fault that his team can't play any defense whatsoever. It's not. I mean, Russ can't.
They gave up 22 points.
Can't play both sides of the ball. Anyways, he comes off that. Then he plays this really brutal Chiefs defense. Everybody's covered. Right. His receivers couldn't get open. It looked bad. I will agree, but it's the Chiefs defense. That's what they do to teams. So what do? They bench him. Don't give him a fair shot. It's been 3 weeks. So here's the plan that I have set out for Russ. Everybody that the Giants let go just turns to gold. Look at Saquon Barkley, turns to gold over there with the Eagles. Right. Look at Daniel Jones, turns to gold. What I'm asking right now from the Giants franchise, trade Russell Wilson to the Bengals get like a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, get something low, set him free. You got a nice backup already. Let him go free. Let him win some games. Let Burrow come in and win him a Super Bowl or get close. It's perfectly set up. Set him free.
Cantu, he looked horrendous. But rather than call you out, because we are going to talk about the
KC defense
Giants
is good.
game.
So
yes, we'll give you that. But I mean, come on. But let me see. But instead of like, what do we attack Cantu over, Mike? Do we attack over the fact that when you and I saw that he was making 25 bets a day, we were both sick and almost threw up? And
we got on the text message. We got on the text message, and literally we were going to do an intervention on the podcast today because you had bet so many crazy games. But then you won all these bets, and so
I won
even though we want to do an intervention, but we
how are your 9 Mariners
every blocked field goal
tonight?
All those blocked field goals, those all went my direction. Every game at the end of the one, I've never yelled and screamed in my own house more. Every blocked field goal went my way. Every made field goal that I went in.
Cantu,
tipped ball. It was great.
Cantu, you won 38 units. Okay, we accept. We believed you. We accept that that's the truth. We just want to know how many times you can bet 100 games a week. How is that going to look for you at the end of the time? That's what we want to know.
Winner. I'm paying minus 105 on both sides of my bet. So that's why you see some crazy looking juice in there. What does that mean?
We all lay $1.05. What are you bragging about?
Okay, guys, listen. For the people at home, it's my rant now, Mike. For the people at home, I think one of the things they don't understand is how long we've known each other. And I'm going to do a rant from 2004. 22 years ago, I invited Mikey and 2 others to attend the national championship football game with me in New Orleans, Oklahoma versus LSU. I paid for everything. 2 nights before the game, I paid for his hotel, his air, for everything. 2 nights before the game, I see Don Nafee. Now, that name is familiar to Cantu and Mikey because Don used to deal in the 90s. He's a poker dealer, and he told me his family's involved with Oklahoma athletics. The night before, our crew of 4 went out drinking on Bourbon Street. And let me tell you, New Orleans was painted Oklahoma red. We all thought the stadium's going to be painted red as well. 5 hours before the game, the next day, with a pocket full of cash, I hit the streets looking for tickets. I used to scalp tickets a long time ago. I needed 4 in a row was the trick. After 90 minutes, I was starting to get a little panicked when Don Nafee called me and said, I have 4 in a row for you on the 50-yard line in the Oklahoma family section. Wow.
That's nice.
Once in the stadium, we noticed that the stadium was 80% yellow and blue. Shame on us. We had forgot this was a home game for LSU. Just then, I received a phone call from the best sports bettor in the world saying his play of the year was LSU and coach Nick Saban. So we all reached our bookies and switched our bets to LSU. Everyone, that is, except Mikey. Mikey proclaimed, there's a reason we are sitting in the Oklahoma family section. It is fated that they win. In the first half, Oklahoma's Heisman Trophy winner, Jason White, not the Jason White we know, looked horrendous, and the Sooners had 32 yards of total offense. 32 yards! And in the second half, Mikey, who bet $20,000 in the game in 2004,
25.
began loudly screaming, Jason White sucks. He's screaming. Jason had just won the Heisman Trophy. In fact, I did a little research. In fact, I did a little research. In 2007, they even erected a statue to him, even though he basically played 0 pro ball and was undrafted. But Mikey screaming over and over, mind you, in the Oklahoma family section.
Oh, you
I switched seats.
do that.
The worst, Cantu. I switched seats.
What can I do, man?
Mikey, let me finish, Mike. I have one more paragraph, Mike, one more. So I put Mikey, there are 2 people in between us because I wanted him furthest from me. It was the worst experience I've ever had a football game. That's not an exaggeration. I seriously thought we were going to get beat up. Okay, after the game, I wouldn't leave my seat because I was afraid if we went over to the aisles, we'd be targets, right? Somebody might punch us. So I waited for 10 minutes as the crowd thinned because I didn't want to get into a fight. Mikey, what happened to poor Jason White? He didn't play one series as a professional. He wasn't even drafted, and yet they still gave him a statue in 2007. Mikey, your chance to respond.
Well, listen, I'm not going to lie. But remember 2005, everybody knew who we were, too. Like, it wasn't like.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Because, like, in 2005, it was the beginning of
we were newly famous. Yeah.
And listen, we're in the Oklahoma, right in the heart of them. I just believed in meant to be's. And he was terrible. And unfortunately, they looked at me like I was crazy, but I kept rooting for him, even when they were down like 35-3, right? It wasn't like I was gave up rooting for him. But yeah, it was a spot that
they were never they were never down that bad. I went to Oklahoma, then I was at that game.
I think they lost 27-10. It was like 27-3.
No. I looked up the score, Mike. It was 21-14, but the game was pretty much over because
wait. They were up like 21. They were up like 21-7. They were up big, right? We never had a chance.
You never had a chance. You never had a chance. Only Woodley could spin this into you having a chance.
No, it actually was a pretty close game. Like it really was. And like the thing about Jason White is here's the thing, it was 14-7 at halftime. It was 14.
The line was 6. Oklahoma was a 6-point favorite.
Yeah.
And then it was 20. Yeah, then it was like 21-7, and then what did you get a late touchdown to make it? They were never in that game.
I think so. Yeah, they were never.
They scored.
By the way,
no. They
timeout. Show you.
They scored with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They had plenty of time to win that game, and they actually were driving. It's like this idea that they got blown out wasn't. The thing about Jason White, though, is he didn't play pro because he had torn his ACL like the 2 years prior. I mean, his knee was like shredded, and that's like why when he won the Heisman that year, it was such a big deal because he had persevered through it. But like he had no shot to go pro because I mean his knees were bad. They got.
I do remember that. I remember that, and that was back in the days when the Heisman Trophy winners in the bowl games always laid an egg. Now lately, the last 10 years, the Heisman Trophy winners play good in the bowl game if they play.
Well,
yeah,
and you probably don't remember this either, but they went up to like 2 weeks 3 weeks before we went to the Big 12 championship in Kansas City, and they were like a 17-point favorite over K-State, and K-State just demolished them. And my buddy actually got hit over the head with a clarinet from one of the girls in the band because he was so tired of them playing Boomer Sooner down like 20 points. He shoved his glove in her clarinet.
They got beat that bad, and they still made the finals. They still made the
it was a controversy. Yeah, they were a really good team that year.
But a lot of controversy. I went back and read about this 2004, because the 2003 national championship game on January 4th, 2004. There was a lot of controversy. Everybody thought USC should have been in that game. Okay, we gave you our 4 rants. Check. Now we will give you our 8 picks. Coming up after the break, we'll give you our number 1 picks. See you in a minute.
This is Feta Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, folks. The Feta Sports Podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Splash Sports. If you don't know Splash, the founders bought the Office Football Pool and the Run Your Pool sites, and they are live in 40 states and Canada. Download the Splash Sports app, currently sitting at number 4 in the sports app, in the App Store, and climbing. And you'll find all sorts of contests starting at $5. Thanks again to Splash for sponsoring the Fade Us podcast. Listen, we gave you our rants, and now for the number 1 pick, we're going to come to David Woodley.
Well, we are back on track with the algorithm that does not miss. I believe we are, since we started this pick is now, I don't know, what, 15 and 3 or 4.
God. He's not, please tell me
why
he's
are
not
you on the
taking,
podcast?
No.
Why are you on the podcast? You always pick the Vikings.
You're not going to pick the Vikings, dude. It's like we're in week 4, and you picked them.
Don't worry, our special guest later doesn't like me doing it either, but they keep winning. I mean, they keep doing it, and they keep getting disrespected by Vegas. I'm going Vikings.
2 really good teams.
I'm going Vikings. They're 2.5 now. I actually got them at open at the money line at minus 125, but we'll take them at 2.5 point favorite. Like, here's the thing, and I've said this like repeatedly, and I say it even more like right now. If the Vikings can just get league average QB play and stay relatively healthy, this is a 12 or 13 win team. This defense is elite. They're getting Addison back. They have Jefferson there. Like, Jordan Mason is like RB, running back 1 now. They looked. I don't want to put it all on like JJ McCarthy, because that line was completely destroyed. But they get Darisaw back, their Pro Bowl left tackle, for the first time in a year, over a year, like 18, 19 games, and they went out and just kicked the living shit out of the Bengals. Like,
a bad
all
Bengals
3 phases, what. The Bengals still have Jamar Chase and Higgins. They have a quarterback that still has an above 500 record and is like 16 touchdowns, like 8 interceptions. I mean, they demolished them, and they're up 48 they're up 48-3, and Mike's like, oh, they don't look that good. That's not impressive. Anyways, they're playing the Steelers in Dublin, so it's there's no home field advantage there. Wentz looks pretty good. I mean, he really looked good. The Steelers are not good. Like, if you actually look at the advanced statistics, Aaron Rodgers is like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL this year. I love the Vikings here. I mean, we're going to keep it going. Homer or not, this is a great
pick. Woodley. Okay, I'm going to respond to this because it happens to be I'm choosing Vikings minus 2.5 for my number 2 pick. I can't be more in your corner. One of the funny things that I saw from one of my groups of friends was who's going to score more, the Vikings defense or the Vikings offense. I mean, it was really incredible. But the reason that I bet a lot of money on the Vikings to win over 8 games was because of the defense. And I thought McCarthy, I was wrong about McCarthy. I can't remember if it's 8, 8.5, but I think I bet 8. I bet a lot of money on that. And
it was never an 8.
And
it was 8.5.
Shut up, Mike.
Wow. Mike wants to argue about the lines again. You know what's funny is every time we've argued about the lines, I whip out my phone and I show him, and we keep telling Mike you're not allowed to talk about the lines, but he can't.
Well, let's bet 5,000 on that. Let's bet 5,000.
Can we?
Phone, show me that 8. Go ahead. I just want to bet. I want to make money. Bet.
Okay, Mike. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you give your opinion about this game next, and I'm going to double check whether I bet 5,000 on 8 or 8.5 wins. But I will say this. I bet 15,000 on Pittsburgh to have 8 or 8.5 wins. I'll look that up too, Mike.
No, I know.
And so either way, either my Minnesota or my Pittsburgh, one of them is going to be 3-1. So I'm kind of happy about that. I do think it's going to be the Vikings. And partly why I'm betting this game is because the Steelers have looked so bad. I've watched every play in the Steelers games because it seems like of all of our group here, we watch more Steelers than anybody else for some reason. It might be our friend Ben Jerusalem, but every year Mike mouths off about how bad the Steelers are. Every year he loses $10,000 or $15,000 to me. I didn't bet him this year. Mike, give us your opinion. The game is in Dublin, Ireland.
Right. I'm going to agree on this pick. But there's a big agree and there's a big but. Okay. First of all, the Vikings caught lightning to beat a horrible Bears team in game 1. They got crushed in game 2. And they played, and I was all in with you last week against a horrible, the worst pass defense in the NFL last year, the Bengals, okay, with a backup quarterback. And what they do, they turned it over 5 times. They're not very good. But that doesn't mean that I'm not agreeing with you this week. I've watched the Steelers 3 times. They should be 0-3, and somehow they're 2-1. Just like the Bengals should have been 0-2, and now they're 2-1. They should be 0-3. Okay. Now I looked at the fact that I don't think much of the Vikings, but I just don't know how what I witnessed with Pittsburgh. Right, their offense looks like a disaster. Their defense, yeah, they got 5 turnovers, 2 inside the 5-yard line. That's only the second time in like 10 years a team.
Mike, let me ask you something, Mike, what happened to the Pittsburgh's vaunted defense? Because, I was expecting them to just come in smoking. And by the way, my number is 8.5, Mike. I need over 8.5 for Pitt and over 8.5 for Minnesota. I looked it up. You were right. That's a man saying to his friend, you were right. But what happened to this vaunted defense?
Well, you could say what happened, right? But they did get 5 turnovers and they won the game because the defense got the turnovers. But as far as the yards in between and the pass defense, this team is getting ready.
And that Jets game, they gave up 1 million yards that game. And
they should have never won the Jets game. Never.
I want to chime in on the Steelers defense real quick. What happened is they gave a lot of horrible contracts.
Okay, that's a good point. All right, I'll give you that. But we got to go to Cantu. Cantu, you get double duty here. So first of all,
I got to
make comment on this game.
I want to let the audience know, I really feel like we are experts on 4 teams, the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Steelers, and the 49ers. We watch so much of those 4, and all we do is talk about the drama, the injuries, this, that, the plays. Right now, what the Steelers are doing to stay in the game, it's a terrible recipe, yet it worked last week, and it seems to work for them. They have this knack for getting fumble recoveries in the red zone. Every time it looks like, they're going to get killed, here come the Patriots. They fumbled at the 10-yard line. How many times can they get lucky with a stop and the other team comes away with no points in the red zone? I just don't think you can continue to be that lucky. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm like you, Phil. I have over Steelers and over Vikings win totals, a little bit more on the Vikings. So I do a little bit more want the Vikings to win, but I actually think the Vikings blow them out and really take it to them. And we're about to see for the first time in a while, I see a real leak in the Steelers, and it's not good.
Listen, I agree, but if I'm wrong, all right, and because I don't think Minnesota's very good, and they lose here, Minnesota's in for a long year. I've got under 9 with you, or 9.5 with you, Woodley, for 3K, and I don't see 10 wins ever.
Okay. Let's hold up, guys. Listen. So Woodley and I, it's his number 1 pick. It's my number 2 pick. Danny,
I agree.
Last week we had our first consensus pick. We chose Indiana, and they won by 100. Danny, please post our second consensus pick: Minnesota -2.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin, Ireland. And Cantu, I'm coming to you. Gather yourself, because I know you take a second.
Buddy, I'm ready.
With your number 1 pick, Cantu, go.
You guys aren't going to believe it. You're going to think it's a homer pick, but no, it's because I know this team. Like I said, an expert. Seahawks at Cardinals, Thursday night football. I talk about this ever since our sports group chat started about 5 years ago. Seahawks are 1-point favorites. All I do is point out to you guys, the Seahawks beat the Cardinals every time, every game, and it's usually not even close. I don't know why they hold over the Cardinals like this. It's just something that happens. It's just like the Rams hold over the Seahawks. I don't know why. I can't tell you why the gods do this. The Seahawks come to play when they see the Cardinals, and I don't know if they just got Kyler Murray's number. I'm telling you, I can't quite figure it out, but I like Seattle big.
Me too, buddy. That's my number 2 pick. I love it.
Mike, all right. I'm going to say this, Mike, and I'm going to go right to you because I have maybe it's because they have red uniforms on and they hate the Vikings and they hate the 49ers so much, Cantu. I agree with your pick. I like it a lot. And what's amazing to me is Darnold. And he won all those games in Minnesota. Woodley took him and threw him into the trash pile. Woodley was so happy. Give me McCarthy. Woodley, you were wrong. Darnold just keeps winning, and I was just really surprised at how good Seattle looked. Mike, it's your number two pick?
It's my number 2 pick, all right? And it's not because of fucking Darnold. Darnold sucks, okay? The reason why it's my number 2 pick, the reason why it's my number 2 pick is for 2 reasons. One, they always beat Arizona. Last year I had them as my top pick twice against them and got crushed both times. But the main reason why I love Seattle and it's my number 2 pick is they last week gave up punt return, kickoff return. They were down 21 in 5 minutes. The game was over. So they were able to pretty much rest their players in the fourth quarter, right? And maybe even the third quarter. I'm not sure, but I know they rested them in the fourth. They were up so big. And Arizona played a friggin' war against the Niners. And I mean a defensive, physical war. And you have to come back on a short week in 4 days coming off of a war when one team didn't have to play hard at all. And they're getting their running back. What you know who his name is. He'll be back. They're getting 3 starters back this week. I looked it up. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
the other guy.
What Mike said. This short week of having it easy, resting all the starters, and I just want to let you guys know this is not a DK Metcalf old jersey. This is a Sam Darnold jersey. I know they both wore the same number, but this is Darnold. Oh. And by the way, Darnold is leading in I was reading all these, those pro football stats, those pro football focus stats, those super advanced ones where I don't even know what they mean. Right now, Darnold is leading in all of those stats that I don't.
They said it last.
They played the same
last year.
Steelers who had the worst pass defense. So
he did last year.
Woodley, we have this parade. It's going down the street, and we're screaming, Seattle, 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 Seattle. And I think you're going to rain on our parade.
No, I like Seattle here. I mean, I think
Cantu, tell Danny.
Danny.
Hold on a second. What? Go ahead.
We have a consensus pick.
No, it's a consensus pick. Mike, consensus pick. Consensus pick. Our third one of the season. Consensus pick.
Talk, Dan. Tell us.
Yeah, the thing about Darnold is he plays fine. He's a perfectly solid game manager quarterback. So their defense is really good. They've been leading in these games. They'll do fine. But trust me, those chickens will come home to roost when it matters most in the playoffs. But whatever, good for him. I do like him. My argument this whole time was I'd rather have JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz and save $33 million a year over the next 3 years than Sam Darnold. And I stay by that because they're able to fix the team. Anyways, enough about Darnold. They're winning games because their defense is good.
Right. Defense
Smith,
is great.
And special teams. The special teams.
The special teams is fine. They actually have a really good chance to go take control of this division right now. The Niners are a mess. I mean, the Niners are extremely lucky to be have as many wins as they do. The Rams are they've lost a couple tough games. Seattle takes control of the division here, and it's not even so much about Seattle as about Arizona. Arizona losing Connor hurts. He's been the one solid guy. Arizona's kind of a mess, dude. McBride, who everyone was talking about being this elite tight end, is complete no show. And even more alarming was Marvin Harrison Jr., who coming out of college was the next great can't miss Pro Bowl guy or whatever. Great.
He was good last year.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
God, him dropping that catch.
He was pretty mediocre last year. And this third year, which is key for wide receivers, the third year is the most important thing. He has laid a total egg. I mean, he's dropping balls. He looks terrible. If Marvin Harrison doesn't do a 180, Arizona has no shot this year. They're going to lose 10, 11 games.
I don't want to correct you, but Marvin Harrison, this is his second year. Last year was his rookie year.
Yeah, second.
Was it? It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I know I was right.
Okay, whatever. He still looks like shit, so.
With what you're saying, I don't quite agree, Woodley, on that they take control of the division. This is a tough division. I mean,
the Rams are 2-1. They should be 3-0. I mean, the Rams were 99% to win that game.
Yeah, I don't think they take complete control, but it's a nice win.
Guys, listen. The Fade Us Sports podcast is on the VSiN network. Now, watch us to learn a pro poker player, a pro gambler's perspective on how to bet these games. And by the way,
subscribe.
$9.99 a month. For $9.99 a month, you can join the VSiN Pro Sports Betting Syndicate. Okay, Mikey, we're coming to you.
Subscribe.
We do appreciate it when you guys subscribe. We do appreciate it.
Mike, we're coming to you for our number one pick. Go.
Okay, as you all know, I'm 5-1 on the year. My only loss was the last second ridiculous loss to Houston.
Mike, we for
this
me, Cantu and Woodley. Let me finish, Mike. I'm going to let you finish. I'm just cutting you for a second here. Last year, you started at either 1-9 or 2-8. I never heard you once talk about your record, but suddenly you're 5-1. Now we got to hear about it. You are 5-1. You did earn it. Okay. And by the way, I am 2-4. So go ahead, Mike. You're the hottest one on the podcast. I'll give you that.
My number one pick here is a team that's 0-3, a team that in week 1 got blown out. In week 2, they gave away the game to the Patriots. And in week 3, they were one roughing the kicker penalty away from beating the mighty Bills. And this team has 11 days off to face a Jet team that wasn't even in the game last week until the fourth quarter against Tampa Bay in a terrible spot, missing like 3 offensive linemen, and they came back. Yeah, they came back with a punt and all that bullshit.
They weren't in the game.
The Jets team looks terrible, and I'm laying the 2.5 with Miami. I am in complete shock that this line is 2.5. I said to myself, the way the Jets have looked, and yeah, they outplayed the Pittsburgh in game 1. Big deal. Pittsburgh's terrible, right? But I watched Miami play 2 good teams back-to-back weeks, and they probably should have won. And they're a desperate 0-3 team against a Jet team that has an over-under of 6, and the Miami had like an over-under of 7.5 or 8. And so you're talking about a team that has had 2 more win total preseason, and their season's literally on the line. They play 3 cupcakes in the next 4 weeks, so they could easily be.
Mike.
They could easily be 3-4 after 7 weeks, or 4-3. I just think that you can't bash on Miami because they played week 1 against Indy.
Right.
Indy is setting records. Indy is setting records. Yes, they're both 0-3. But Indy is setting records. I mean, Daniel Jones, the only quarterback in NFL history with 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 0 turnovers through 3 weeks. So, you can say, they got crushed by Indy the first week. Indy might be a Super Bowl team. They look like they're the best team in the NFL right now. They do. And they're breaking records. So I think Miami is really good 0-3 team against a team that's a really bad 0-3 team. I'm laying 2.5 with Miami as my number one pick, and I love this game. Sorry,
Woodley, you're looking at the
no Sunday games. No Sunday games.
He's just absurd, and he's gonna tank his little 5-1 record. I do want to point out though that in the Gregorich League that we're all in, I want to congratulate him. For the first time in a year and a half, he's out of the bottom 20, so he's now 19th out of 118. So 99th out of 118. Sorry, 99 out of 118. He's only 5 games. He's only 5 games.
San Francisco, and I lost the Rams last week.
All right.
I mean, give me a
Anyways,
break.
For this one, I'm going to give the Mike special on the Jets. Well, the Jets are 0-3, but they should have won week 1 with blah, 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 Aaron Rodgers. They had him on the road.
They should have beat Pittsburgh.
They should have won week 3, but they were fucking playing. They beat Tampa.
They were never in the game until the block.
It's probably the best 0-3 team. Probably the best 0-3 team. No, they lost to a good team in week 2, but who cares about that?
What are you talking about?
Tua sucks. Stop. Tua sucks. The Jets are at home. The Jets have actually been turning around a little bit.
The Jets are not at home. You don't even know that. You don't even know that.
This game's in Miami.
I mean, you don't even know what town you're in. I mean, you don't know nothing about Marvin Harrison. You don't know who's at home. Well, you're coming up with shit you don't even know.
I know you're in 90. It's first of all, it's midnight here, Mike. All right, we're starting this podcast late for you. So, anyways, I don't care where it is. It could be on a fucking
New Year. Happy New Year to all my Jewish friends.
It could be on the moon, and you're not giving me Miami over anybody. Tua looks terrible. They didn't almost beat the Bills. Come on, like, oh, there was a roughing the block. The Bills were never losing that game in a million times. No. You're just so fucking absurd. Never. The Jets, though, on the other hand,
no. I'm not gonna let you slide. They made Allen punt 3 straight times. They were getting the ball in a tie fucking game. Don't tell me that.
At no point was Buffalo going to lose that game. No one with a fucking brain thinks that. Okay, that kick return or that punt block return or whatever that happened, where the coach is going nuts. I'm telling you, that's huge. That team has been miserable for the past 2 years. That team is pumped. They are pissed they lost these 2 games. They are going to beat Miami. Yes, Miami's season on the line. It doesn't matter. Miami's toast. That coach is getting fired. Jets.
Yes,
Jets.
I'm agreeing with, to be honest, I'm going to take all of Woodley's points, and I agree with those. Like how Mike can sit there and talk about, oh, Miami should have won this game. No, the Jets should have won more games. I mean, yeah, they're still winless. Both these 2 teams suck.
But how could the Jets have won more games?
They are the better team of these 2 teams that suck. I got a question for you guys. What happened to Justin Fields? Did he get hurt or did he get benched for Tyrod?
Benched.
I didn't see that all of a sudden.
No, he got hurt. He got a concussion. He'll be back. Fields will be back this week. And Tyrod's better. So go ahead.
No. Tyrod is better. If he's back, that scares me. Either way, I'm still going Jets with any of these bad quarterbacks. What do you think, Phil?
Okay, guys, I hate to agree with Mike the Mouth Matusow, but I think you're wrong about Tua. First of all, it is a home game for Miami. I really think that the coach's job is on the line down there. I think that like he's headed towards like a disaster. He's headed toward the cliff. He's going to get fired. I think they have to come together for him. I think their offense can still put up a lot of points, and I'm liking Miami in this game. This home matchup. Okay, now Danny, here we go. My number 1 pick, okay, is the Green Bay Packers at Dallas Cowboys -6. Danny, post all of our number 1 picks. Why do you ask? The Packers, had they won this game, had they beat Cleveland and they were 3-0, and they should be 3-0, I think maybe they'd be cruising and be pretty happy, but they lost the game, and now they're pissed, and they crushed Detroit in week 1. Their defense looks great. Their offense looks great. They were close to the Super Bowl favorites about a week and a half ago. I mean, everyone had, it's going to be Green Bay. It's going to be Green Bay. It's going to be Green Bay. And I think Dallas, that defense is horrendous. They just can't stop anybody.
It's epically bad.
Epically bad. And I think that Green Bay is going to go in there and they're pissed off from losing this miracle Cleveland win. And they're going to come in there and you're just going to smoke them. Give me the Packers -6. Cantu.
All right. Look, I'm going to tell you why I love your side. It's for different reasons than you said. This is going to lock Green Bay in. I think Green Bay kind of needed to come back down to earth and show they're not human. I know that, yeah, you don't like to lose a game.
That's what I said.
If there's ever one to lose, this is the one you want to lose. And here's the other thing. Dallas, they're playing Dallas on the perfect week. CeeDee Lamb and with Dak, that is some kind of connection where they can just score at any time. When CeeDee Lamb is not on the field, this Cowboys team offensively just isn't the same. They look very human.
They lost 2 offensive linemen too. They're a mess.
Yeah, their offense just wasn't the same. He's out. I don't trust the offense, and I don't think they can stop Green Bay at all. I like the over. I especially like Green Bay's team total over. This game could get real ugly on the Green Bay side. I think somewhere in the 40, 45, 21. I think it's going to be ugly and high scoring.
No. Woodley and Mike, you guys both like the other side. Who wants to go first? Woodley, go.
Yeah, you guys are in trouble, and Mike and I agree. It's trouble usually for you two. I think, and you can you'll get it at 7 now, and you can probably get it over 7 as it gets closer to the game because I really view this as the most. And this isn't a knock on Phil because he's a Packers fan. It's a knock on Cantu. I think it's a very square play because it's Green Bay's this world beater. Dallas is in the dumps, complete disaster, all that. And these are 2 very true things, bounce back, all that good stuff. Dallas is going to bounce back too, okay? And Micah Parsons is coming back in the building as well. And if you don't think that the Cowboys are motivated to really show him up, because as much as it was Jerry Jones kind of fumbling that, Parsons deserves a lot of that as well. Like Parsons kind of got that whole ball rolling. They're going to play him really tough. I don't think they're going to win, but when you can get at 7.5, and all these other numbers, I think Dallas shows up. There's a lot of pride on the line there. And Lamb being out is a bummer, but Dak, we give Dak a lot of crap on this show, but he's still a very, very good quarterback. And it's hard to beat teams on the road by more than a touchdown or more. Let's just put it that way.
Mike, listen, every point that Woodley made, I agree with. I told people last week, one of the reasons why I do not take Green Bay in any Survivor is they had Dallas on deck. Now, they lost the game. They were 93% to win, whatever, but they didn't really bring it last week. And if people don't think they were looking past, I just think they were looking to this game next week. And even Dallas, we're playing Chicago, blah, blah. We
can't afford to look
Green Bay
past
on deck.
Mike. Come on.
I know you can't afford to look past, but if you're ever going to, it was last week. Now, Dallas is going to show up for this game for the exact reason why Woodley says they're going to show up. Now, the line right now is like 7 minus 115 on the dog. You guys got it at 6.5. I don't think you could get it 6.5 anymore. And so I do think this is a very square play. And if it goes to 7.5, I'm going to bet this game and take the dog. At 7, I'm probably just going to watch the game. But I think that Woodley's right. I think this game you could get 7.5, and it's hard to win on the road, especially in Dallas. What have they? Except for they had all the injuries last year. Before that, they were something like they had won like 18 games in a row at home. So they're a really good home team. So I'm going to go against you here, and like I said, at 6.5, I don't mind it that much. I think Green Bay is going to win, but if it goes to 7.5, I'm definitely betting the dog. If it goes to 7, and with no juice, I might even bet the dog. But I'm gonna take the points here.
Okay, guys, we're going to go to a commercial break here. By the way, let's check in. Where are we? Woodley, it's 12:15 a.m. You're in Jersey. Cantu, where are you?
Las Vegas, 9:15.
Vegas.
He's in the same room as he was in last week that he rented.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And Mikey, you're in Vegas, and I'm in Palo Alto.
I see the what's it called on the wall, the safe.
The Seagull Suite.
Guys, we're coming back. We're coming back in a minute with our number 2 picks. See you in a minute.
This is Veda Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Veda Sports Podcast and our sponsor, Edge Boost, which is a pretty cool, what can I call it, Woodley? I can call it a debit card?
Debit card, bank account, yep.
Okay, so I basically hooked it up to my bank account. I pressed a button, and I moved $100,000 within hours to this debit card. And then I used that to buy into the World Series of Poker tournaments. And there's all kinds of benefits. And it's kind of nice to have a segregated account, which I think Edge Boost gives us. I am a proud advisor to Edge Boost. Woodley, you work there. Give us a little bit about what's this contest, the average Joe? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's the Average Joe contest. So first off, go to VSiN.com/Joe. That's VSiN.com/Joe. And each week you pick, it's free to enter. You pick 7 plays. It can be college or NFL. You got to do a combo of both, though, if you want college. It can be also totals. So it's a very fun contest. And if you place at the top of the week, you win $500. But if you already have an Edge account and you sign up with an Edge account via VSiN over at edgeboost.bet, you will actually double, or VSiN will actually double that prize to $1,000. So if you have an Edge account and you come in first place, you win $1,000. So it's been 3 winners so far. 2 of them actually had Edge accounts through VSiN, so they won $1,000. The third the third didn't, but she ended up getting signed up, and we gave her a bonus there anyway. So it worked out pretty well. So anyways, that's VSiN.com/Joe and Edge Boost. And thanks to both of them for all this.
Okay, guys, I'm going to say this. That's a little free roll, as we call it in the poker world. And speaking of free rolls, the hottest guy on the podcast this year, I hate to say it, we have to give Mike his props. He's 5-1, and he's coming with his number 2 pick, which I think is going to be a very short discussion.
Yeah, it's a short discussion. We already talked about this. I'm jumping on Seattle. It's not that I love Seattle because I don't think they're that good. I think their defense is a monster. But again, we talked about it. I think we have one team that played a war, lost their running back against a team that just they're not going to be as beat up. And in Thursday night games, both teams are usually just beat up. They're not recovered yet. That's why there's so many bad games on Thursday nights. And it sucks that I don't have a pick for Sunday, but I'm Seattle.
Okay, Mike, we discussed this. You got your number 2 pick in there. Woodley, give us your number 2 pick.
Yeah, I am going the Carolina Panthers plus 5.5 at the New England Patriots. And I'll give a little bit of real reasoning behind it in a second, but I always go back to this fact where if you get 2 bad teams playing each other, and these are 2 bad teams, and one of them's getting a lot of points, take the heavy dog in this one. Now, I'll give you a couple other things there too, and Mike's going to be like, oh, New England should have won this game. They should have won this game. Well, New England's been turning the ball over like mad, and turnovers aren't all luck-driven either. At some point, that's who you are. That's who you are as a football team. So New England is just turning the ball over left and right. And then he's also going to be like, oh, Woodley, week by week, they beat his Atlanta Falcons, which smoked his Vikings.
They should be 3-0.
Yeah, that's why you took them. The
thing about the Panthers is they actually ended the year last year relatively strong. They got destroyed week 1. Week 2, they almost pulled the comeback of all comebacks. I think they've scored 45 unanswered points since the fourth quarter of week 2.
They haven't given up a point in 6 quarters.
I know. Yeah, it's 45. I know it's a week by week league, but they have the momentum. They are playing a bad team in New England that's going to turn the ball over. I don't know if they're going to win, but 5.5 is a lot of points. So give me New England. Or sorry, give me
Mikey.
Yeah. So I knew that he was picking Carolina, and then I just had to ask myself, why is he picking Carolina? Oh, because Atlanta smoked his Vikings, who got smoked by Carolina. That means all of a sudden Carolina's good, and so it's a homer pick. It's a homer pick. And so this line opened 5. Wow. It moved to 5.5. Okay, and I don't know. Carolina. It's a week-to-week league. I love going against a team that won 30-0. That's a bad team. And I think the Patriots are really good. And if they stop turning the ball over, I think they're going to win.
Really good.
I think they're going to win by a lot.
Really good team.
Okay, I'm going to agree with this. I know you guys aren't going to like this. I'm going to agree with Mikey on this. I hate to go against Woodley, but I feel
New England's really good.
No, I didn't say that.
The line is just screaming. It's screaming New England. The line, as soon as it opened at 5, which I thought they were going to open it 3.5, and then they bet it up to 5.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed watching New England actually, and that running back, he's so quick. I mean, he's so good. I think he's going to have a ton of yards. Drake May looked really good to me, and it felt like they were in 2 out of those 3 games to me. And so I think New England is going to pull this off at home. I just don't have faith in Carolina. All right, Cantu.
You know what? I know this is a week-to-week league, and I know that, by the way, on the podcast, last week, I want to go back and pat myself on the back. I said of all the Survivor teams, my one, as I said, Carolina was going to beat Atlanta. Atlanta was flying a little too high. And I thought they would too. That Sunday night win, that'll put you back down to earth.
Cantu, if we're giving you credit, Cantu, you went on our stream and you said Seattle is a lock. Take them in Survivor. You were right, Cantu. Yeah. Everything you said the last week.
I was wrong. You were right.
I was very right.
Cantu.
Yes. I don't think it's just a fluke. Woodley kind of I didn't quite realize it had been 6 quarters that they hadn't scored. That even kind of makes me feel a little better. Last year, Carolina, they get hot. They're either just ice cold or they won like a few in a row.
They're either going to win the game or get crushed. I agree.
It was like a 6-week period where they were playing real nice. I'm going to say they're going to keep this going. I'm going to go. I had them plus 190 to win last week. I'm going to go money line again, Carolina. second week in a row. I think they're going to win this game outright, and this is going to be a little survivor muddy the water again over here. Give me the win over here, Carolina.
Okay, here we go. My number 2 pick is a very short discussion because Minnesota, which also we all agreed with and we discussed pretty thoroughly. We don't have to spend much time on that. Now, Woodley, do you owe me a number 2 pick?
I just gave it to you, Carolina.
Sorry? I'm a little tired. And Mike gave it to me too. Let's go to you, Cantu.
My number 2 pick, probably the game of the week, is 2 1-2 teams playing each other. Ravens at the Chiefs. I've been saying this kind of since since the week 2, or actually since the week 1. I think this is the end of the Chiefs dynasty. I think we might be looking at a 10-17. This is not some crazy team. They play great defense. They look terrible on the offensive side, even though Mahomes still does pull out a miracle and still gets some first downs. I think the Ravens, even though they're 1-2. By the way, both these teams are 1-2, and they are tied for the 7th playoff spot in the AFC right now, that just shows how bad the AFC is. Wow. I like the Ravens. I think the Ravens really hand it to them. Yeah, week 3, going into week 4, they are tied for the last playoff spot. I think the Ravens at 1-2. Yes. The Ravens are the number 7 seed as of right now, 1-2. The Chiefs are the 10th.
That's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Okay, Woodley, what do you think of this pick?
I mean, that's just the dumbest thing I've heard in a long time. Like talking about playoff seeds 3 weeks into the season, as if it's some indictment on the AFC. Anyways,
he's not playing that well. That's where I was going.
Anyways, I want to confirm this one's in Kansas City, right?
Yes.
And
one of these 2 teams will be 1-3.
You're taking the Ravens. No, give me KC, who the defense has been good there. Mahomes actually put together he's been playing pretty nice. I think Worthy. I mean, give me KC whether Worthy is back or not. I mean, that offense, there is problems there, but KC has a very huge advantage in a couple areas here. One, Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore can beat Mahomes. I don't think Jackson can stack up to Mahomes. I think Mahomes always shows up in these bigger games. Number 2 is like the coaching mismatch is ginormous. Like I don't know what's going on with Harbaugh, but he is just horrible all of a sudden. Like
agree.
That first week and last night's game, I think he's the main problem why they lost both those games. And obviously Derrick Henry. Right. Derrick Henry's another thing. All of a sudden he's fumbled 3 games in a row. Like that is the yips, ladies and gentlemen. That is the yips.
And that was and the fumble was really like on him. You know, he's holding it like this and got it punched out.
Yeah, this is almost a must win for KC too. I mean, listen, like the Chargers are like here, like KC, like man, give me KC in this one. They're going to win outright. Like KC at home as an underdog. Are you kidding me? How do you go against that? That's insane.
Listen. Kansas City's already lost 1 game at home. Before that, they had won like 23 in a row or 23 out of 24 at home. Like you're going against a team that never loses at home. Worthy is going to be back. He's wearing a brace. Okay. And listen, they really struggled in the first half last 2 days ago against the Giants. But in the second half, like Mahomes was throwing darts around the field. I mean, I couldn't even believe the passes he was making. The defense was so dominant that they're benching Russell Wilson this week. And I kind of agree with Cantu. Like I mean, that defense was dominant. Okay. And listen, I have the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I look like I'm dead in the water. They're just a team. Not. Well, the reason why I'm not dead is kind of what he just said. This is a must win because they play Detroit the following week.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
I hate to break it to you guys.
It really is because the Ravens, even if the Ravens go to 1-3, who do they have in that division? They got the Bengals with a backup quarterback, Cleveland with no quarterback.
It's an off year in the AFC. It's an off year. Nobody is doing good in the AFC.
I don't think
what are you talking about? The Bills and the Chargers.
There's 6 teams with a winning record. Like
who gives a shit? They got to win the division. KC has to win the division.
You just got to get into the playoffs, and something happened.
I mean, the Chiefs and the Ravens have had a very tough schedule. I mean, the first week they
Ravens
gave the game
have had a brutal schedule.
But they played the Bills. They've played Detroit, and now they're playing Kansas City. So you're not you're acting like, oh, they're so bad. The Ravens are still going to be there at the end of the year. Now, will they win at the end of the year? I don't know.
You just said it was a must-win game. It's not.
I said it's a must-win game for KC.
You just said the opposite of that. Cantu said Ravens will be there.
No, for KC. I say it's a must-win for KC. It doesn't. It's a nut.
Oh, you might have misheard Cantu. Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
It's just a must-win for KC. And if the Ravens lose, they're 1-3. Big deal. They got to look at the division. They got the Browns with no quarterback. They got the Bengals with the worst pass defense with no quarterback, and then they got Pittsburgh with no defense anywhere with no quarterback.
Cantu, remind us of the line.
2.5.
2.5. I'm hoping to get 3 in this game. I want 3. I want to get 3 so bad in this game.
Okay. All right, Cantu, you're hanging out on your own. You've been really hot. So we're going to give you that. Yeah, everything you've said has basically been kind of true. Of course, Mike's has the best record. I love Kansas City. Their defense is phenomenal. They are at home. I like all of the things that Mike said. I like all of the things that Woodley said. That defense is phenomenal, and Mahomes finds a way. I've been watching him for like 6 years or whatever it's been. And this guy, they have him all bottled up. And much like Lamar, who he's playing against, it'll be this way, this way, this way, this way. He doesn't have the speed of Lamar, but he has the escapability.
Lamar got sacked 7 times by Detroit. 7 times he got sacked. What's the Kansas City defense going to do to him?
Exactly. And I'm watching, and I'm just thinking to myself all the times, it's 3rd and 15, and the Chiefs look dead. And Mahomes somehow has some miraculous scramble to the middle of the field or to the right side of the field just to somehow pick it up. They need this game. They're hungry. And I think, so we're all against you on this one, Cantu. Now, I think, Danny, that we've given all 4 of our number 2 picks. It's not midnight for me. It's 12:30 for Woodley, though, on the East Coast. I think we've given all of our number 4 picks. So we're going to come back in a minute, and we're going to talk about Survivor. So see you guys in 1 minute.
This is Veda Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
All right.
Okay, as you guys know.
Come back. You need to check us out on the VSiN Sports Network, the Veda Sports Podcast. We are 4 sports idiots. I'm hot. Bill's normal cold. And you got to figure out, who do we fade every week? That's Veda Sports on the VSiN Sports Network. And don't forget to subscribe. We're on all of the podcast networks. Check us out on the VSiN Sports Network. That's Fade Us Sport.
We really
nice job, Mikey. Good read. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. First of all, I have to promote Pathwater, the world's best water. Promote, sell. I know I'm shameless. Now, Woodley, you told me you wanted to go first on the Survivor, but Cantu's so hot, I can't decide. Mikey, you decide who's going to talk first on the Survivor.
I want to hear Cantu first.
Or Woodley?
Let's hear Cantu.
Cantu deserves it for last week.
Okay, I'm going to make sense of who is going to lose, who is going to win, and who is going to be really tough, and it's going to come down to the end. I am going to tell everybody at home why you should take the ultimate chalk play, the Buffalo Bills, and here is why. I'm using all of my picks on all of my platforms. I am going Bills. I think there's about a 96, 97% chance that the Bills win. They are not losing to the Saints. The Saints are a very bad team. So I know that you think everybody's going to go that way. Everybody's going to go. I was talking to some other of my friends, my other friend, Rick, who's really smart. He was like, I think it's going to be 30 or 35% Bills. And I said, I don't think so. I was surprised last week, only in one of my big contests, that only 39% had the Seahawks. I thought it was going to be over 50. The reason I'm saying this with the Bills is 20-some% of the field used them last week. Already people had used them in weeks 1 and 2. I think the number is going to be lower, like 22, 25%. Now I'm going to go down to the other teams. I'm going to tell you why they're going to be in trouble. I do not like Denver. I do not think they're that good of a team. We've talked about it many times. They are playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati, the reason they got blown out is they fumbled 4 times. It had nothing to do with Browning. 2 of the times they weren't even touched. They just dropped the ball. Maybe that is who they are, but I think that's going to be a close game. I don't love it. Green Bay at Dallas. On some of the leagues, depending on the structure, Green Bay has to play on Thanksgiving and Christmas is its own week in some of them. If that is that type of the week, I would not use Green Bay, even though I do think Green Bay is going to beat Dallas. I do believe that's a for sure one. And that's kind of the same logic with the Detroit-Cleveland. I do think Detroit's going to win. If it's one of those Christmas holiday week, I would stay away. Here's the interesting ones right here. Houston is at home against Tennessee. They're a 7-point favorite. They're both winless. Now, I've heard Mike say, yeah, well, they played everybody tough. I actually think Tennessee has played kind of nice as a winless team. Yeah, they got a little blown out last week, but they weren't playing that bad a ball. They're actually moving the ball. They didn't play that bad against Denver.
They got historically bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
I just think Houston is not playing good ball. Do you really trust Houston? Yeah, I know you got to get out there and take some chances. I think Tennessee is going to beat them. I just have this feeling it's that divisional game. It's going to be right down to the last possession. Yeah, it's at Houston. Watch out for Tennessee. One more game to really look at is New England is at home against Carolina. I think Carolina is going to beat them. New England played good. They played good last week. Carolina's playing good ball. They haven't let up a point in 6 quarters. I know, again, you want to get out there. New England scares me.
Okay, Cantu. Okay. I'm going to make one comment. I'm going to throw it to Woodley, who's been pretty sharp at this stuff. I'm just going to say that New England, I believe week 11, you want to save New England for week 11. I'm just going to say that. Woodley, thoughts?
Wow, I mean, riveting from Cantu, just saying to take the team that's favored by 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's just top tier analysis there. No, I actually like it. But what I want to talk about is this knucklehead over here on my left or right, Mike the Mouth, who bothered all of us, including a guy named Ben Jerusalem, and talked everyone into not taking Seattle. Guys, you see Seattle? They have a guard out. Oh, they have a linebacker out. Oh my God! Like, Jigma, headache. You can't take them. They're gonna lose. Well, I
mean, they were 7.5. They got bet to 7. All the sharps bet them, and I was wrong. But you act like I was wrong about.
No, the sharps.
Mike admitted wrong. Okay,
Woodley, I was wrong, but you act like I was not. I was wrong about all my survivors.
So what he did is what he did to our entire crew. He kamikazed our entire crew. Ben lost all his picks. Ben switched to Green Bay.
I told him Green Bay's playing Dallas next week, and the Browns.
You got him off Seattle.
He goes, number 2 pick.
What Ben, and I quote, he goes, talk about Mike. He goes, the guy's a black hole. He says so much dumb shit. I finally listened to him. and
listen,
I got off.
No. I'm not going with this shit. Listen, you can't. You got to get there. You've got to. If you stick with the chalk, you cannot win. Okay. I thought last week there was going to be a lot of upsets. Why. Was I not right? Okay. There was 2 major upsets, and the Jets could have been 3 major upsets.
You said,
Mike, you acted like there was going to be 6 major upsets, and now you're like, I was right. There were 2.
No,
what are you talking about?
There could have been 3. The Jets could have beat Tampa Bay.
But you kept telling us everybody's going to get upset.
All right.
It's weird. Everybody gets upset.
I was wrong.
You guys, and
I was wrong, but I still have all 5 of my survivors. How you guys doing them? You're lost.
No, because you told us.
Huh?
He burned Kansas City. He burned Kansas City for us for some reason. I don't know why. Who you need on Christmas and Thanksgiving. The only team
I need Kansas City against Denver on Christmas. Okay.
Here's the best part about this entire thing is it would be one thing if Seattle won by like a touchdown. You're like, well, Mike was on. Seattle won by like 40 fucking points. All right. Like I didn't watch that game. I opened it up. It's 20. The first time I looked at the score, 21-0, and Mike's like,
he goes, you watch like the Saints cross midfield. He goes, you watch. They get a touchdown here. You got a ball. Get a field goal.
Well, how about the fact that the guy? Listen, they never had a chance in the game, but when the score was 31-3, and it's 4th and 2 at the 42-yard line of the Saints. and somehow the coach comes out and says, 4th and 2, 31-3, field goal, 4th and 2, which he missed the field goal. But you have to ask yourself, in what coach's right mind? I don't care if he's a first-year coach, that you're down 29 points with late in the first half. Do you kick a field goal on 4th and 2 at the other team's 40-yard line?
This is Mike's gripe. You're down 20.
I mean, am I right? Listen, they never had a chance, but am I right or wrong?
Mike, nobody wants to hear about coaching strategy when a team's down 29 points.
It's truly one of the worst coaching decisions I've ever watched in my life, in my whole life.
Of course it was horrible, Mike, but of course it was horrible.
Do you know what's amazing?
Mike, who are you using in Survivor?
Okay, yeah, who am I using in Survivor? You guys, I have all 5 of my picks left. Plus, I'm in my app game. We're down to 9 out of 13 for 5K each. And then I have 2 in Marks. They're both alive. It kind of sucks I didn't go all Indianapolis last week because I was so sure in it. Because I kept saying to myself, Division Road favorites. That's a no in Survivor, and it kept going in my mind. That's why I didn't go all 7 picks on them. So with this week, I am of my 5 in Circa. I don't care I am going 1 on Seattle because I really think that one team got beat up last week. It's a pick 'em. Okay. Yeah, I didn't take Seattle last week, but that's fine. I'm going 1 on Seattle. I'm going 1 on Miami. I'm going 1 on Miami. I'm going 1 on Miami.
You're so dumb.
I'm going 1 on the Patriots. Listen, the Patriots are 1 and 2. And they have to win this week because they got the Bills on deck. I am saving all my Bills for next week.
Patriots,
when they're going to be
the Patriots 13. Have an easy game in Week 11. The Patriots, they're nice favorites in Week 11. Why would you?
The point is the Patriots are going to fire this week. They're going to be good. They got the Bills on deck on the road. This is a home game. They have to win for their season. I know it's early in the year, so I'm going 1 on Seattle, 1 on Miami. 1 on the Patriots and 2 on the chalk with Houston. I don't see how Houston.
Phil, I just want to say one more thing, and the reason why the Bills is such a riveting and not chalky play is because of exactly what Mike said. When I say it's chalk, I'm talking like 35%, maybe even in the 40 or 50% range. That's super chalk. I think it's only going to be 22 or 25% on the Bills.
Make a bet? Can we make a bet?
Let me finish. Just like what Mike is saying, how he can't wait to use the Bills next week as they play the Patriots, which is a much tougher game for the Bills, much tougher. This is the biggest you're sharing with the biggest spread of possibly the whole year is 16.5. It might not be beat. And there's no shot of them losing. They could actually lose to the Patriots next week. That's why it's
Listen,
not that
Cantu,
They beat the Patriots by 100 every time.
I'm going to. I was looking at Buffalo myself, and I was thinking, does it make any sense? Because you can just use
so many good spots for the Bills later. Go ahead.
I know that, but I'm wondering if there's not going to be a bunch of upsets. But it feels like I have to use 1 on Houston. I was going to use 1 on the Patriots too. So listen, I have 9 picks or 10 picks in one of the leagues. It's only 150 a pick. In that league, I will use the Patriots as one of them. But in the 5K league, I'm thinking a little bit about Cantu's Buffalo, but also Houston. I like Houston. It just makes sense to me. I looked at their schedule, and they're not really big. They're not over a 7-point favorite the rest of the year, from what I recall.
They're chalk this week. They will be the highest owned.
I want to tell you one thing why I wouldn't use Miami this week. I wouldn't use Miami is they have a Week 11 game against the Saints at home. Man, that is a real nice spot to use.
I don't think the Saints are that bad. They were out of the game in the first 5 minutes, so I think they'll be in the game this week. We'll see.
Okay. So would you say
who do you like? Who do you like, Woodley? Who do you like this week, Woodley?
I mean, you know what's really annoying is I have half of your entries and I have to root for your nonsense. You faded Seattle.
You have 3 picks left. You have 3 picks. You burned up favorite. 2 of our picks. You burned up 2 of our picks. Who are you going with?
You faded Seattle as a 7.5 point favorite at home just to turn around and say, I'm going to take them as an underdog on the road on a short week in a division rivalry game.
I'm going
the Bills. I'm going the Bills. I'm in circle. I'm going the Bills with one, and with the other one, I might go Minnesota just because nobody's going to be on them.
I like Minnesota.
And by the way, I'll say this. I wish we should really have a phone call to tape the phone call between Woodley and Mike, because I'll give them some credit, Cantu. They get into it on the phone with each other. Blah blah blah. I like this. I like that. Da, da, da. And they do come up with some pretty smart stuff. I'm going to have to say the Woodley-Mike combination, and it's a really good combination. And Woodley told me many times. I said, "Boy, Mike can sometimes be a little harder to deal with." And Woodley's like, he listens to me, Phil. Woodley said, "I have him under control," so I really like that. Hey guys,
I shouldn't have listened to the Seattle though.
Fantastic podcast, guys.
Made a mistake.
We're going to wrap it up.
I had a big week last week.
Mike,
I didn't lose anything.
And Mike, one of these weeks we're going to have GRP on our podcast, which I think is going to be pretty fun. Might be fun to have him once every 4 or 5 weeks. And then we'll start bringing some other really fun people on here. But Phil, I love the dynamic. You and Cantu and I have been talking about picks since 2010, and Woodley just somehow fit right in. It feels like a really nice podcast. We're not saying we're the best sports bettors in the world. The name of our sports podcast is Fade Us. Ladies and gentlemen, Fade Us.
Good night. Phil.
Good night. Good night.
Hey, Phil.